welcome to Deckman Productions and welcome to Kinda Hey Real. So we have a unboxing, got a package from Mr. Muffins. This is going to be out of the earlier Lionel 2025 Volume 1 catalog that I got here. These came in stuff's coming in pretty quickly. I'm kind of like surprised. And so there's my receipt. Get this out of the box. And whoa, I didn't want it to go over there, but at any rate. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the bag. And I noticed they're coming in these sealed plastic bags now. I guess they're sealed for freshness. It doesn't go stale past the expiration date. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you can see how fast I opened that up. So today I got the Lionel ACF 4-bay center flow hopper car in the Cumberland Chemical road name. So what we're going to do, besides review it, we're going to compare it to the MTH center flow, and we're going to compare it to the Atlas Trinity, and we'll check them out and see how, just check out the differences. Now also I'm hearing some rumblings, complaints of how the car sits too high on the trucks. So that's a pet peeve of mine too. I don't like it when they sit too high. I noticed the last couple of Atlas O locomotives that were former MTH molds, they sat really high on the trucks too. But anyway, we'll get this out of the box. We'll look at it. We'll talk about the car, review it, compare it, and on top of that, was Cumberland Chemicals a real company, or is this just total fantasy? So, all that, let's go. Alright, so I got the Lionel car on the tracks, and I can totally verify that, yeah, there's a big, huge gap in between the car body and the wheels. Now, the gap is so big that you can see here, I left the styrofoam pieces in there. I mean, I could probably fly a B-29 through there. But at any rate, so then I was thinking, I have not noticed Lionel having a 4-bay hopper car before. I mean, I have plenty of Lionel hopper cars, but they've always been 3-bay or 2-bay. But this is a 4-bay. So I'm wondering if this was a former reefer mold. Another thing about the car is that I noticed the hatches on top do not open. On an Atlas, oops, sorry about that. On an Atlas O car cover hopper, those hatches would be operating. They would open. Those are Master Series. The one thing I will give Lionel credit for is that these do have actual rotating wheel bearing cap trucks. The wheel bearing caps actually rotate as you move the car along, and I am a big fan of that. I mean, people say, oh, this drives the cost up. Well, we're paying $100 a car anyway for scale stuff, so might as well just throw on those rotating wheel bearing cap trucks. Cumberland Vinyl Plastics, or Cumberland Chemical, is that a real company name? Yeah. So what a lot of these train manufacturers do is they go out and they look for defunct and out of business company names that were in business at one time, but Now they can put the name on the car because since they're out of business, they don't have to worry about asking them for permission and copyrights and all that fun stuff. So did Cumberland Plastics or Cumberland Chemical actually have a center flow hopper? Well, I mean, in one hand, you would think so because plastics would go on a center flow. However, I could not find a picture of the Cumberland Chemical center flow hopper, which doesn't necessarily mean, and I said this before on a couple other of my videos, just because you don't find the picture on the internet. Morning Sun Books has extensively researched a lot of freight cars, and I have found pictures in their books that have never made it to the internet. Believe it or not. Everybody says, yeah, it's all on the internet. No, it's not. It's not all on the internet. There's plenty of stuff that never made it to the internet. However, Morning Sun Books does have a photo of the Cumberland Chemical car as a cylinder hopper, as you see right here. So how does the Lionel center flow measure up to the MTH Premier center flow? I hate to say it, but you know, yeah, I gotta say it, sorry. The MTH Premier blows it away. It just does. Alright, so for example, if we look at the MTH version, it has see-through grading. Very cool detailing. See the see-through grading? You can actually see right through it. Where the Lionel version cheaped out and they didn't do that detail for almost $100. Why? The ladder detailing. Look at the real. Now this is an older model. This model here we're looking at is at least 6 years old. Look at the fine detailing of the ladders on the end of the car and the fine detailing of the see-through grate under the brake wheel. And what do we have from Lionel? We have thick, old, unrealistic ladders that are not scale and a solid platform under the brake wheel, which is not realistic. That should be that great decking on the bottom there, and it is not. This model is just getting bad reviews all the way around. Even though the MTH does not have the rotating wheel bearing caps, which has always been my pet peeve of these models. However, Atlas O is going to come out with replacement trucks for these models, and they will fit the older MTH Premier that will have rotating wheel bearing caps. Like the Lionel model, the top does not open or function, which is fine because I didn't pay $100 for that Penn Central center flow hopper. Also, the car height on top of the trucks are more proper. You can see right here the difference in height between the cars. But yeah, they got it right. So what they did different is they don't have that huge embossment underneath of the truck like the Lionel one does. Lionel should have just made it a flat bottom where the trucks go like MTH did, and that would have solved the issue of the car being too high. Here we have the top of the line of O-gauge modeling. The Lamborghini of O-gauge is right here. There's no fine, better details, no better freight car than an Atlas O Trinity. And for those who have them, appreciate them, and they hold them dear. The Trinity hopper is a real manufacturer, and they captured all the details. Now, I have covered this car once before. We'll lightly cover it now. Just some of the details here. It's just crazy amazing. So if you look at the top of this car, let me get out of the light. Just look at the fine lettering. Separately applied grab rail in yellow. Look at the fine grading on top of this car. Finely detailed ladders. You got the proper grading at the bottom where it should be. You can see the air tank, the air lines, as a hop car should have, the brake wheel. Look at the fine lettering behind that grab rail. I'm telling you guys, if you did not pre-order the Trinity hopper car, you're not getting one. These things are just crazy, insane, like a Berwick. And the reason for that is these hopper cars are only produced like every 4 or 5 years. Up to this point. Now after the Berwick craze, Atlas said, hey, we're going to go ahead and we'll make the Berwicks again sooner than 4 or 5 years, but we'll see what happens there. Alright. I'm really aggravated right now because this car is spoiling me. This is what a car should look like. This is what you should be. For the price that I paid, this is everything I expected for the price that I paid. I'm looking at this Lionel car, and guys, look at this. Just look at this. Do you see an air tank there? No. Do you see any air tank there, or likely any inkling of details? No. Where the boop is the air tank and the lines? Where? Because on a hopper car, it's got to be on one of the ends. They're never underneath. So, yeah. Alright, let me calm down here a little bit. Now, on the Trinity hopper, I'm going to warn you right now, if you buy these, do not play with the top hatches. They are very, very fragile. So you see this? This is what locks the door down. I already have it unlocked because it's such a fine piece. So never grab a hold of it and pop it open without opening it, because you will break that if you decide to do that. And then you can open the door. And there you go. So the door closes like so. And press down gently, gently. Okay. And Joker's Trains had a running joke of, if you have Atlas O cars, then you probably got super glue laying around. But yeah, that's pretty funny when you said that. Alright, so getting back to this atrocity, I gotta tell you, I'm not really happy right now. But when you pay a certain price for something, this is not a $40 car. If this car was only 40 or 50 bucks, okay, no biggie. I only paid 40 or 50 bucks for it. But they sold this as a high-end car, and it is not. It's not even remotely close to this high-end car. So I'm gonna say that, and this is the first time I ever did this on video that I can ever think of. I just can't believe I'm gonna say this. But folks, I'm not gonna run this car. Unfortunately, I'm just not happy with it. I'm not gonna run it. I'm gonna put it back in this box, and it's going to go up for sale. I am not keeping this in my collection. It has no place for my personal collection, for the expectations that I have, for the price that I paid. And if you have anything dumb to say, keep it to yourself. So, but I don't want to disappoint people because I always made a train run. So we'll go ahead and do a train run with the Atlas O chemical hopper. I think I have an MTH one as well. Very cool cars. I will go on record and say I will never ever buy another Lionel 4-bay hopper car again until they make improvements, and then I want to see it in person. And for those who are saying you're a Lionel hater, you guys know that I'm not. Every locomotive that I own is Lionel. I have no MTH or Atlas O locomotives exclusive to Lionel. But this is a total disastrous disappointment. Sorry for the rant, but that's just the way I personally feel. So I thought it was necessary to talk to you guys face to face. Yeah, I was pretty aggravated over what I paid for that car, and comparing it to the MTH Premier, at least in that respect, that it would be kind of close, and it wasn't. Even the MTH Premier has the air tank and the air piping details on the end of the car. So I know comparing the Lionel to the Atlas O Trinity is apples to oranges, and I know people are going to say that, oh, it's not the same thing, and you'd be right. They should be further apart detail wise, but between the Lionel and the MTH, why? It should be a close comparison. Where's the air tanks? Where's the fine see-through grading details? It's like, what happened to the quality? What happened to the fine details of Lionel that we've always expected? They're not there. So I've always been a Lionel fan since 1976, and when I seen what I spent and what I got, I was angry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm mad, and it's not anything against Mr. Muffins, and please don't get me wrong, because he just sells the product. He buys it. He's got to make a living. And I'm going to go on camera and say, I actually love Mr. Muffins. I love dealing with him. He's been good to me. I have nothing against him. This is not about Mr. Muffins at all. This is about Lionel and not meeting my expectations for the price point. But anyway, so I wanted to do this face to face with you guys, so you can see, you know, you can see my reaction. But anyway, I kid you not, I am not keeping that car. You want it? $50 plus 19 shipping at $69 to you. I lost. I don't care. It's on me. I just want it out of my collection. I'm not. So if you want it, drop a comment into the description of this video, and I accept PayPal. And if you want to meet up at York, save some money on shipping, that's fine too. But anyway, so let's go ahead and run the train that I promised you guys. So let's go.
I'm made up. Am I cleared outbound?
inadvertently threw a traction tire. And as old as this locomotive is, I mean, that's par for the course. But I threw this traction tire. I'm trying to get this set up. And they make foam cradles for doing this. I know I'm kind of like doing this in a hurry. Not that I own a foam cradle. There's been people who ask, hey, putting a traction tire on a steam locomotive is easy. How do you do it on a diesel? Well, I don't even take the frame off. So what I do is I make sure there's a gap there. Hopefully you guys are getting this on video. Let me see if I can get this a little closer. And just a little bit there. So you see this gap right here. Little small screwdriver, flat blade. Just pretty much start it in that gap. Okay, and you want to rotate and sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate, so you can take this screwdriver and push this tire down. Oops, and that's why you need a cradle. And then what I'll do is I'll rotate it around by hand. It'll rotate. Okay, now we're getting to the point where we need a screwdriver. Just sort of work it on, rotate the wheel again. There you go. Rotate it again. And voila, not even 2 minutes and the tire's on.
Dispatcher, clear into the station. Now
guys, again, sorry for the blow up and the rant, but yeah, that's just how I felt, so, and still feel. But at any rate, I hope at least you learned something about how to change traction tires on a diesel locomotive. Hopefully you got something out of this video. As you see, I did it in less than 2 minutes. I haven't changed one on a steam locomotive, but it's not that hard. At any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed the rant and rave of Stackman Productions video. We'll catch you at the next train show, the next event. We'll catch you trackside. Goodbye.